Hello, my name is Ari Waldman. I'm a person who stutters. Today is Thursday, November 12, 2020, 25th day of the Jewish month of cheshvan. My video YouTube, Tanya, day 31, from Chabad.org, daily study, daily Tanya, Igeret Kodesh, epistle 31, Thursday the 25th of cheshvan, 5781, November 12, 2020. I'm going to be practicing pausing. Without further ado, Igeret Kodesh, epistle 31. Independence and brotherly love among Jews interdependence and brotherly love among Jews strike far deeper than the visible interpersonal plane. Indeed, if they are lacking, the pain is felt by the Shekhinah itself, the divine presence. For the divine presence is the heart of the Jewish people, who themselves constitute the organs. A deep-seated organic disorder that affects the circulatory system, affects the entire body, including even the heart itself. Noda B'Sha'arim, well known at the gates. The previous epistle opened with the phrase, "It is well known," because it cited a widely known statement from the Talmud. Here, however, the Alter Rebbe opens with a more esoteric quotation from the Zohar, which is well known only in more scholarly circles. Among those who sit at the city gates, for this was where the judges and scholars traditionally used to congregate, Ma shekatuv b'tikunim lishcheneata ihi meira'a begaluta kiviyachol, is the statement in the Tikkunim that the Shekhinah is ailing in the exile, as it were. Perush al derech mishle kamo chole haguf hamavdil ben kodesh v'kule. This anthropomorphism draws a comparison with a physical ailment, distinguishing, of course, between the holy, the mundane, i.e., bearing in mind the utter disparity between a physical ailment and the state metaphorically described as an ailment of the Shekhinah. Shesibat hachole vehabriot hi v'hatip shatot v'heloch hachayot mehalev al kol ha'evarim. The cause of illness or health lies in the distribution and flow of the life force from the heart to all the organs. Hamelubeshet bedam hanefesh hayotze mehalev el kol ha'evarim. This life force being vested in the blood of life, which flows from the heart to all the organs. V'sovev holech haruach chayim v'adam. And the spirit of life and the blood circulates all around. Toch kol ha'evarim al yedei hagidim hamuvalim hamovalaim bahem. Let's try this again. Hamuvalaim bahem. Toch kol ha'evarim al yedei hagidim hamuvalaim bahem. Much better. Into all the limbs through the veins that are embedded in them. The choser al halev, and returns to the heart. V'im sivuv, the hiluch haruach chayim halaz hu ke hilachto timide bisidure ke sadero ke sadoro hamisoder lo mechaye hachayim baruchu. Let me try this again. V'im sov sivuv v'hiluch haruach chayim halaz hu ki hilachto timide ki saduro hamisoder lo mechaye hachayim baruchu. Much better. Now, if the circulation and flow of this spirit of life is always as it should be, in its proper order, as arranged for it by the fountainhead of life, Azeh ha'adam bri betachlit, then the individual is perfectly healthy. Ki kol ha'ivarim mikoshrim yachad umikablim chayotam harayu hara'oi lahem mehalev al yedei sivuv halav. For all the limbs are bound together and receive their appropriate vitality from the heart through the circulation. Ach im yesh eza kilkul be'ezehu mikoman monea Ma'achav, o mim'at sivuv v'hiluch hadam, im haruach chayim hamiluvash. But should there be any disorder in any place, restraining, hindering, or reducing the circulation and flow of the blood, with the spirit of life vested in it, azai nifsak o mitma'at heksher halaz hamikosher kol haivarim alalev al yedei sivuv halaz. Then this bond, which connects all the limbs with the heart, by means of this circulation, is severed, which would extinguish life or diminished. Azai nofel ha'adam lemishkav v'chole Hashem yishmerenu. In which case, the individual will fall ill and sick. May God protect us. The interconnection of all the organs with the heart thus also impacts the heart itself. V'kacha mamash al derech mashal hine kol neshamot Yisrael nikraim bechinat evare dishchinata. Precisely so, metaphorically speaking, all the souls of Israel are regarded as the organs of the Shekhinah. Hanik ra'at b'shem lev Kamo shekatuv tzur levavi, v'kamo shekatuv v'shchinati betocham, which is called the heart, as it is written. The rock, my heart, as it is written, and I will dwell within them. Perush, the meaning of this comparison between the Shekhinah and the heart that supplies all the organs with blood is ki lashon Shekhinah hu shiur havei shochen bol lamot b'ria yisira asiya lachayotam. The term Shekhinah deriving as it does from the verb leshachon, to rest or to dwell, denotes the light God abides in the world of Beria, Yesira, and Asiya in order to endow them with life. Hamishkat hachayot zeh hi al yedei hitlabshot tchila bin nishmot Yisrael. This life force is drawn forth by means of a prior investment in the souls of Israel. Lefi shekol hanivraim ein aruch lahem el habore yitbarech. This is so because none of the created beings stand in any comparable relation to the Creator. Dechola kamaya kolo mamash chashivin. For all that are before him are esteemed as truly not. I efshar lahem lekabel chayot meoro v'safao yidbarich. Thus, it is impossible for them to receive life force from his light and effluence. Liot nivraim me'ein liyesh v'chayim v'kayamim. To become created beings ex nihilo, into substantiality, and to be living and subsisting. Ki im al yedei ha-nishamot, except by means of the souls, the divine light is first drawn down into the Jewish souls, and thereafter into the rest of creation. The blessings which we recite follow the same order. Our God, King of the universe, it is by his first becoming our God, whereby the divine life force flows into the Jewish people, that he then becomes King of the universe. She'ilu b'machashava, for it is the Jewish souls that rose in his thought, i.e., their source is in his thought. V'kayam v'kadmo levriat olamot sha'al yedei b'chinat hadibur. And thus preceded the creation of the worlds, which came about through divine speech. Mortal thought is internal and personal, inasmuch as it serves the individual himself, whereas speech is external, its purpose being to communicate with others. So too Jewish souls derive from the internal aspect of godliness, while the rest of creation derives from the external aspect, and in order that the divine life force be drawn down into the worlds, which represent an external level of creation. It must first be drawn into Jewish souls, the internal level of creation. Kama Amar Razal, B'mai Nimlach, HaKadosh Baruch Hu V'kulei. Thus, our sages of blessed memory say, with whom did the Holy One, blessed be He, take counsel concerning the creation of the worlds, with Jewish souls. Kenoda b'makom acher, as is known from elsewhere, Jewish souls are thus so superior to the created worlds that God took counsel with them about the very creation of the worlds. The above discussion relates only to the drawing down about of divine vitality from the Shekhinah into the created worlds, which parallels the emanation of the spirit of life from the heart and its diffusion throughout the entire body. The Alter Rebbe now will go on to explain the second aspect of this analogy, how the spirit of life returns to the heart from the other organs. In the analog, likewise, the godly life force within the worlds pulsates in an ongoing dual dynamic called Ratzo V'Shov, advance and retreat. The godly life force is first drawn down from the Shekhinah to the worlds, and then it returns to its source. As a result of the Torah study and the spiritual service of created beings, V'noda b'sha'arim, and it is well known at the gates. Ki kol hamishkat hachayot v'hashpa'a me'elyonim v'letachtonim mehem. That every downfall of divine life force and all effluence from the upper worlds to the worlds which are lower than them, hein kamo shekatuv b'sefer Yetzira, niutz tachalaton, b'sofin b'tchilaton, are as stated in this Sefer Yetzira, their beginning, i.e. the beginning of the uppermost levels of creation, is wedged in the culmination, i.e. the nethermost part of the lowest level of creation, and their culmination is wedged in their beginning. Uve kitive ha'arizal, michone b'shem or yashar ve'or chozer. In the writings of Rav Isaac Luria, of blessed memory, this dual direction is referred to as Or Yashar, direct light, and Or Chozer, reflected light, i.e. light reflected upwards from the lower level back to the upper. V'kmo shekatuv v'hachayot ratzo v'shov. As it is also written, and the chayot were advancing and retreating, first proceeding away from their source and then retreating to it. The above verse refers to the holy chayot, creatures of the divine chariot. The Kabbalah explains that this is an allusion to the divine life force of all worlds and created beings. It first emanates from its source and then returns to it, i.e. not only is the divine life force drawn down from the Shekhinah down into creation, but it also returns from created beings back to its original source. Asher al kain al pi hadvarim be'emet ha'ela asher efsher leva'ir heitev be'makatav. Thus, according to these words and this truth, which is impossible to explain properly in writing, nikra'at hashchina b'shem lev v'hanishamot b'shem evarim. The Shekhinah is referred to as the heart and the souls as organs. Lahorot lanu ki ke'asher kol hanishamot leva'okaot umik oshrot yachad. This teaches, oh, that was close. I'm going to drop my phone. This teaches us that when all the souls are attached and bound together, azai, sivuv, vihiluch, hachayot, vihehe, sha'afa, viheshpa'a, vihashpa'a, sovev. The circulation and flow of the life force and of the effluence from the Shekhinah to the worlds and from the worlds back to the Shekhinah is continuous. V'niyutz sofen bitchilatan lekesher v'lechaver kulan leheve echad v'ledavka ben yidbarech. And their culmination is wedged in their beginning, thus binding and joining them all, and all souls, and through them all the worlds, to the one God, so they will cleave to him. V'kamo shekatuv atem nitzavim hayom, kulchem lifnei have Elokeichem. Thus it is written, you are standing firm this day, all of you before the Lord your God, Havaya Elokeichem. Kulchem daika v'lifnei daika. The verse specifies all of you, i.e., a situation in which all Jews stand united together. Moreover, it specifies before, implying that this togetherness enables all Jews to relate to divinity at the level at which the name Havaya precedes and transcends its subsequent self-imposed descent to become Elokeichem, the life force that empowers souls. This can take place only when there is a sense of unity between all the levels which the above verse goes on to enumerate. Rasheichem kule, michotev atzech kule. Your heads, i.e. those with the loftiest souls, from the hewer of your wood, i.e. those of more modest spiritual stature, the Alter Rebbe elaborates on this unity between unequals. In Likutei Torah, at the beginning of Parshat Nitzavim, Uveze Yoven Ma'amar Razal, Ki Chorban Beit Sheni, V'nefilat Yisrael Begalut. This will clarify the teaching of our sages of blessed memory that the destruction of the Second Temple and the fall of Israel into exile, V'histalkut hashchina v'yiridata le'edom bivchinat galut kaviyachol. And the withdrawal of the Shekhinah and its descent to Edom into a state of exile, as it were, for the Jews are exile, so too is the Shekhinah. Hakol haya bi on shniat sinat chinam v'pirud levavot rachamana litzlan. All this was because of the sin of groundless hatred between one Jew and another, and dissension between their hearts. May the merciful one save us. Lachein nikraat chola al derech mashal. And this is why the Shekhinah is referred to metaphorically as ailing in times of exile, as quoted above. Uma shekatuv somech noflim, rofe cholim, lashon rabim. As for the phrases in the Amidah, he supports those who are fallen and heals those who are sick. In plural form, although reference is being made to the Shekhinah, Heim kol ha'ivarim kulei. This alludes to all the organs. The plural form includes the souls, which are the organs of the Shekhinah, inasmuch as they are animated by it. They too are in ailing health, and they too are supported and healed. This is the end of my video Tanya, day 31. It was rough, but we got through it. Have a great day. Goodbye.